What's up guys, Damien here. I'm going to give you a quick tour of the January Industry Immersion Series activity. If you complete this activity in January, you will be eligible for one of the $2,500 microgrants. If you're completing this after January, you still should, still a great activity. And if you complete all of the activities before the end of the program finishes at the end of May, you'll be eligible for some of the series completion incentives. And if you want to learn a bit more about that, head over to the incentives or sponsors page on the main page. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward. This is a really cool company, NAV Canada. If you want to be an air traffic controller in Canada, if you want to be a flight service specialist, this is the organization that you're going to work for and go through to get your training. So when we think about aviation, there's a lot more than just being a pilot or flight attendant, and this is kind of a quick overview of what some of those different roles are. So learn a bit more about the organization here if you're curious, but you're here to learn about the challenge details, so let's get into it. What we've done for this activity is there's two specific occupations that NAV Canada wants to highlight that they want you to learn about. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to choose your career path by selecting one of these two. Now we always have resources below for you to do that. You'll see right here, air traffic controller, flight service specialist. These are just videos about the specific occupations that you might find interesting. But what you're going to want to do is actually go into the page. So I would encourage you to explore both before picking, see which one is more interesting to you, and then click into it. This will actually take you to the NAV Canada page where you're going to see a lot of information about air traffic controller and kind of what they do. This is likely going to be the place where you're going to get the most information for what you need to do to complete the activity. That being said, you have access to the internet and whatever resources you need to find the information that you want to put together to help your content stand out. Once you have decided which occupation you're going to focus on, what we want you to do then is actually research the occupation, right? And again, a lot of that will be on that specific page, but the intent of this one is to now actually understand what does somebody do in that role. So if we look at flight service specialists, what does that actually mean? What does that person do? What skills do they use? What does their day look like? Where are they working? That kind of stuff, right? These are more of suggestion questions. You don't actually have to answer every specific one, but the intent is that when you create your video, you're able to actually explain in an engaging way, what does somebody do when they work in this role, right? Then we want to talk about, okay, cool. I've researched this role. Now I understand what they do. Tell me how do they get there and the skills that they're using, right? So the skills that are involved in working in that role and the training that is involved if you wanted to work there. A lot of the training for these roles in NAV Canada is in-house, meaning that there might not be a specific college or university program for flight service specialist or air traffic controller. That's up to you to figure out, right? But NAV Canada does offer a lot of training. Like, look into the specifics. Some of this stuff, there's things you can do now in high school. Some of these might only be 18 years old in order to start applying. Some of these you might not even need a post-secondary education, right? So go into the weeds and understand what does the training look like? How long does that take? Where does it happen? All that kind of fun stuff. So get specific about it and show us that you've actually done the research. Then we want you to talk about safety. So safety is core to the culture at NAV Canada. You can understand why, right? The jobs of a lot of the people at NAV Canada are specifically to help keep the sky safe and keep vacation and travel and everyone who's up in the sky, no matter why they're going where they're going, safe, right? As well as the people flying and on board all these different crafts, right? So learn a little bit about the safety culture. This will take you to the NAV Canada website. But again, you can use whatever kind of resources you need to understand what the safety culture at NAV Canada is like. Then we want you to talk about the outlook. So depending on which job you picked, right, whether it's air traffic controller or flight service specialist, use, again, some of these resources to understand, are these jobs in demand? Are they growing? Where are the jobs? If we're an air traffic controller or a flight service specialist, I'm probably working at an airport, right? So like, where are these different kind of jobs posted and which ones are in demand right now? Why are there jobs opening, right? Think about this critically. Why is NAV Canada engaging in this kind of activity to help young people learn about the careers that are available to them in their industry? And then we want you to submit the activity. So this is the fun part. You've taken all the research, you're not writing an essay, you're putting this together in a short video, 60, 90 seconds, ideally. The main thing is that we want you to include the research that you've done across steps 1 through 5, and then put it together in a way that is fun for you, right? This is meant to be something engaging. The frame of mind that I would be thinking about this in is, would I want to watch the video that I'm creating? Right? It doesn't need to be Hollywood level production. It can be anything you want. Ideally, it's just authentic, and you put some energy, some enthusiasm, some smile into it, knowing that there will be humans on the other side that are watching this video, right? So what can you do with your video to stand out? Particularly with this activity, since it's concentrated to 2 different occupations, we're going to see a lot of videos for air traffic controller. We're going to see a lot of videos for flight service specialists. So think about when you're making your video, what can you do to make it unique, right? Making sure you still hit all those points, but that it's something special and that celebrates the skills that you have and that you're developing. If you want to understand better, exactly what we're looking at, there's a summary of the rubric here, but if you click this, it opens up, just goes into more detail. We're definitely being generous with the rubric, but we want to see you land in all 4s here, right? Did you actually follow the steps and cite your sources? Was it engaging? And did you do a good job communicating, essentially, right? You're going to submit it through here. Again, this is just our link to the evaluation rubric. But then you submit your video. There'll be a link, a place for you to pop your link into. It's super important, guys, that you test the link ahead of time to make sure that we can view it. I can tell you every month, even with the strong messaging that you'll see on here, that there are several students who send us a link that we can't view. And if we can't view your link, either because the sharing settings haven't been updated or for whatever reason, then we just can't watch your video, right? So take some time, test it in an incognito window, send it to somebody else who isn't you, who isn't logged in, make sure that they can play it, right? Because I don't want you to have to do all that hard work and then we can't even watch your video. Cool. Okay, this one's a pretty straightforward activity. You're going to pick one of the 2 occupations. You're going to research it. You're going to learn about it. You're going to address some of the questions in these steps here. And then you're going to put together a fun little video showcasing everything you learned. There's some FAQs at the bottom of all these different activities. There's some more general FAQs on kind of the main page. Check it out. Have some fun with it. Submit before the end of the month so you're eligible for one of those microgrants. And I look forward to seeing your video.